right, you guys, here we are at the end of the road. Welcome to join me as I set up my reading journal entry for the final book in the Necessary Evils series, MANIAC by Onley James. Whoa, I almost feel a bit emotional doing this because I have spent so much time with the Mulvaneys, getting to know them, their partners, their allies, and adjusting to their view of the world. MANIAC is a very special book in one regard because we finally get to meet Calliope. She is the Penelope Garcia of this series, the computer hacker who has been with us on speakerphone since the first chapter of Unhinged. And now we finally get to meet her, see her, interact with her, not over the phone but live. As much as I'd want to, Calliope is not the main character of this book, because this is Aiden's book, the elusive, estranged brother who refuses to call himself a Mulvaney ever since we learned in book 3 that he managed to convince the court to overturn his adoption so he's no longer legally Thomas's son. To say these two have a complicated relationship is an understatement. Aiden was 17 when he was adopted, so practically an adult, and Thomas is actually only 14 years older than him. Aiden has been in love with Thomas since the day they met, and Thomas has done his best to put boundaries and distance between them. All those barriers come crumbling down, though, as we learned at the end of the previous book that Thomas is being threatened by someone who knows about his past and what happened to his family when Thomas was a child. And the person Thomas always turns to when shit gets real is Aiden. And Aiden can't refuse, because as much as he hates Thomas, he loves him more. This book focuses a lot on Thomas's backstory. He is the oldest son in an extremely wealthy family, and we know his parents and 2 younger siblings died in an accident when he was a child, leaving him the sole heir to his family fortune. What we did not know is how Thomas was involved in their deaths. This blackmail threat he receives is kind of like a reckoning for him. His past finally catches up with him and he must relive all the painful memories of his childhood. Because Thomas has also been horribly abused, psychologically rather than physically, as a child, but his scars are deep. And unlike his sons, he is not a psychopath and he can't distance himself from his feelings the same way they can. The fact that these two would eventually get together and that Thomas is Aiden's partner has been heavily hinted at since book 3, and I think anyone who has read this series has been eager to finally see their story play out. It's the most taboo of all love stories, adoptive father and son, even if Aiden constantly reminds us and everyone else that Thomas is not his father. The circumstances around his adoption are also a bit sketchy. Aiden is not an orphan. He knows and remembers his biological father, who is an associate of Thomas. He's also not a psychopath like his brothers, but let's say vigilantism is something he took to naturally, and Thomas was pretty much asked to take him off his birth family's hands. The mystery part of this book is heavily interwoven with Thomas and Aiden's relationship, since it's all about Thomas's childhood and what happened to him when he was young. Despite that, not even Thomas knows who is behind the threats, because as far as he knows, everyone who knows about that time should be dead. But this is Mulvaney land, so of course they're not. The plot and the mystery bring everyone from the previous books together in an effort to keep their family secrets safe and uphold Thomas's legacy. We're talking everyone: Cricket, Jericho's boys, Aiden's friend Lola, and of course Calliope and her family. I think this is the conclusion this series deserves. Thomas is such a lovely, lonely person who has only ever wanted to be loved. And As much as he wants his sons to love him back, they can't because they're psychopaths. The only two non-psychopaths in the family are him and Aiden, which is fitting because Aiden is the only one of his sons that can love him back, and they don't love each other as father and son, if you know what I mean. For anyone who suffers from Mulvaney withdrawal after this, Jericho's Boys has a spin-off series of their own, where I'm told the Mulvaneys will be making guest appearances, but I haven't read that yet. This book is a great conclusion for this family, and we can rest assured every single one will be living happily ever after now. Well, that's it. Now what am I going to do with my life?